This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1 and 2 in the KJV. Let a man so account of us as the ministers of Hamashiach and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. A minister is considered a servant, and a steward is either considered a manager, an apostle, Christian teachers, bishops, overseers, and preachers. And they all is teaching on one accord the same thing. Because there's only one doctrine in this earth, regardless if you don't believe or if you do. It's only one. And we all should be sounding the same, but the Lord didn't make it that way. And eventually, the Lord is going to show who is his true teachers. Let me get a side precept real quick. And then I'm going to go back because we want to get the understanding of being faithful. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 21. I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. So these apostles, the Christian teachers, the bishops and overseers and preachers are bringing forth this truth. There's different levels of this ministry, but they're going to be aligned all together, even if they're not teaching that and they're not teaching that, but they will agree with the whole volume of the scriptures that is brought out and be in alignment. Right? So I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Yahawah is the Most High God, and Yahawashi is who the world inwardly calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakodash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit and teach well, Lord willing that they continue to endure. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word in the same spirit that they endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwathim that are believers of this faith and this truth, Lord willing that you continue to be believers of this word and continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the faith. The title of this lesson is, This is a Serious Job. We are overseers of the Lord's household. Now, it might seem basic to you, but this is something that, you want to constantly hear. This is a serious job. This is more important than your 9-to-5, your full-time job, your six-figure, your industry position. This is the number one important job on earth. Why? Because the Lord created us, and he created us to serve him. Now, out of being an emperor, a king, a superstar, a dancer, a sports player, whatever, the top position on this earth, the number one position on this earth, is being an apostle, a teacher, a bishop, an overseer, a preacher, an evangelist, a prophet of Yahawashi, which all consume, all in one is really prophets, because they're bringing forth the prophecies, the parables, the dark sayings, and the sincere milk. And I want to boast in Yahawashi that he have given us the best thing. And he have given us this truth, and he gave us men that's going to give up their life for this. Regardless if they're working, they're always pushing the plow. They're always feeding the sheep, even if the sheep not listening. But guess what? They might not be sheep. And the Lord have woken us up after those 350 years. We have to be thankful. And it's not your pastor down that street, because if they're not giving you these prophecies, the mysteries, the parables, and leading you back to knowing that you are, the descendants of the root of your nation, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? The patriarchs of, that is the 12 sons of Jacob, right? The 12 tribes of Israel, and the descendants are on the earth, and they're waking up each and every day. So back to 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. We already got the 1st chapter, but I want to get the word in the 2nd chapter. The 2nd verse, Salaki. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. So if you're a steward, you should be found faithful. Now you go to Numbers 12:7. Faithful mean a supporter of the door. Moses was faithful, right? And to be a supporter of the door, who's the door? Yahawashi. You must support his name, and you must support the doctrine that he came with, which the Heavenly Father have given him. So I'm about to go to the interlinear, right, of the word faithful.
Strong's G 4103. Pistos. Pistos.
Right? It's pistos. It means faithful. Of persons who show themselves faithful in the transaction of business. This is business, right? Luke chapter 2, verse 49, Yahawashi told his mother and his father, I must be about my father's business. We're here to be about Bahasham Yahawashi's business. If you are an overseer, a prophet, an apostle, evangelist, a bishop, right, a teacher of the Lord's word, Yahawashi had made you an overseer of his household until he returned, right? This for this verse, faithful goes into that can be relied on. You have to be somebody that the Lord can rely on, especially like when you look at Eleazar in 2 Maccabees 6, where he laid down his life and his integrity in Yahawah Shai to rather die a glorious death, to stand strong in the ways, the laws of Yahawah Shai. You got another one where it says, one who is convinced that Yahawashi has been raised from the dead, right? In the New Testament, one who trust in God's promises, right? Another one is believing, confiding, and trusting. Another one is one who has become convinced that Yahawashi is the Messiah and the author of salvation. Somebody that is faithful in the Strong's definition is trustworthy, trustful, believing, faithfully, sure, and true, right? So if we're ministers, apostles, Christian teachers, bishops, overseers, and preachers, right, and evangelists, you know, we must be trustworthy, right? And that goes back to 1 John 2:21. We shouldn't be in here for our own vainglory, for pride, for proud, for bringing forth money, right? This is all about boasting, boasting in Yahawah Shai. Now let's get into the lesson, right? The first verse we're going to go to is Matthew, the 24th chapter, in verse 42 to 51. In the KJV, it says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. This house is this ministry, and your house is the house that you share with your wife and your kids, right? You want to prepare the house of the Lord, you know, for his coming, because Yahawashi is that thief, you know, that's going to come unexpected. Verse 44, therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. This is why we're teaching, to get you ready, not to just waste time and just sit like a lump on a log, but to be ready. It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, who his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Only a faithful servant is going to be set as a ruler. I don't care if you a low prophet, a high prophet, apostle, evangelist, whatever position, right? You are a ruler of this thing, and you are held accountable, right? But the Lord deals with order, right? Because the Lord had brought people that have been in this thing before you. And we're just entering into other people's labor, but you want to be an example of this truth, an example of the other men that stood boldly for the name of the Lord. It says, blessed is that servant whom the Lord, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing so. Right? Are you a doer of his word? You want the Lord to see you occupying in his teaching before he bring the famine of the word, before he bring the MOTB, before Jacob's trouble. Because our work is not only about ourselves, you know? Because if it was about just yourself, you wouldn't have to be doing this. But he calls us to fall in the same suit as the men that he put before us to teach this word, because all of us was in a Gentile state when America got builded, when America got founded. And now we get a chance to bring forth that spirit, that Rakak Wadash, this teaching and encouraging people, right? To exhorting, encouraging them to get back into reading, praying, hearing his word. And if you are a true man that is able to teach, you're going to get back into your lot of teaching his word. Verse 48. No, verse 47, it says, verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler of all his goods, right? A good is considered a possession, right? The children of Israel is his possession, but on this side is the elect, because not all Israel is going to get this. Romans 11:7, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3 and 4. The ones that don't understand the gospel, it been hidden from them, because the God of this world, the prince of this world, got you in his hands, right? But everybody's not going to obtain this knowledge, but the elect is, right? It says, but if that evil servant shall say in his heart, the Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with drunken, the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion. With the hypocrites there shall be weeping and gashing of teeth. Now, everybody want to get their philosophy or their teaching to the children of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. But you have to know you're held accountable. If you want to hold yourself up in the mindset, oh, I want to teach. I don't care if you're a motivational speaker, right? False teachers is more false teacher than righteous teacher. If you are a child of Israel, you want to be an influencer and you promoting people to do this, but not bringing them to the Lord, you're going to be held accountable, right? When you're trying to teach people how to make money, or you want to go into, oh, let me teach you the word, or let me do this and do that, you're going to be held accountable. This is James chapter 3, verse 1 in the NLT. Dear brothers and sisters, not many of you should become teachers in the church, for we who teach will be judged more strictly, right? We're going to have a greater condemnation, especially if you was teaching wrong, bringing in lies for your own feel good. That's why you want to get in this thing for the right reasons. This is Colossians chapter 1, reading verse 24 to 29, KJV and NLT. First, I'm reading the KJV. It says, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Hamashiach in my flesh, for his body's sake, which is in the church, whereof I am made a minister according to the dispensation of the Most High, which is given to me for you, and to fulfill the word of God, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. Saints go into the faithful, right? And that saints is the elect, because there's only an elect out of Israel that will be saints, because they're faithful, right? It says, to whom God will make known what is the riches of the glory of his mystery among the Gentiles, which is Hamashiach in you, the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahawashi, whereunto I also labor, striving according to his work, which worketh in me mightily. Because this work, this ministry is all of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. This is why none of us can really boast, because it's all of the Lord. In the NLT again, verse 24 to 29, I am glad when I suffer for you in my body, for I am participating in the sufferings of Hamashiach that continue for his body, the church. Right? You're going to be mocked, just like Yahawashi. You're going to be persecuted. People are going to despise you. People are going to say mad things about you. Right? And it's not only the other nations, it's going to be people of your nation. Right? And every camp get talked about. Yeah, it sounds good, but we're talking about the ones that's bringing forth 100% truth, that's not bringing no guile. If you standing there saying nobody has 100% truth, then you don't believe is 100% truth in the scriptures that the Lord have given us. Even if it say we know in part, we prophesy in part, it's still 100% truth that is being brought out in the scriptures, right? The Lord probably didn't give you that lot, right? But the body is hearing the whole volume of the word. Verse 25, God has given me the responsibility of serving his church by proclaiming his entire message to you. This message was kept secret for centuries and generations past, right? But now it has been revealed to God's people after that 350 years. After that falling away, the Lord started raising us up day by day, week by week, month after month, year after year, so that we're here now. 2016 is going to mark 250 years we've been in America after the establishment, 1776. That's going to be 250 years when 2026 comes. All praise to Yahawah. It says, for God wanted them to know the riches and glory of Hamashiach are for you Gentiles too, right? The ones that follow in the Gentile mindset, in the flesh, the paganism, the ways of this world, right? It says, and this is the secret. Hamashiach lives in you. This gives you assurance of sharing his glory. So we tell others about Hamashiach, warning everyone and teaching everyone with all wisdom of God. Teaching everyone with all the wisdom God has given us. We want to present them to God perfect in their relationship to Hamashiach. That's why I work and struggle so hard, depending on Hamashiach's mighty power that works within him. I'm going to just say a side thing. To start your relationship with Hamashiach Yahawashi, you must be an Israelite by blood, right? That's just plain and simple. A lot of us is not going to know, but through faith, you will know, especially when it comes to these curses and the prophecies that pertain to the nation of Israel, because that's when the curses started. That's who the prophecies was for when it came to them going to slavery. Why is everybody bringing up the other nations, but they're not bringing up why the other nations are in slavery? Other nations are not in slavery because they sin against their Lord, because sin is transgressing of the law. Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20, the law was only given to Israel. When you go to Isaiah 58 and 1, 1 Ezra or 2 Ezra chapter 1, verse 5, we have to cry aloud and spare not, basically the ones in Israel, and tell them their transgressions, their iniquities, their sin upon sin that they have done in front of the eyes of the Lord, not the other nations, right? Because this story is about Israel. But everything that I just said is for the ones that is trying to grow, or in the ones that already believe and know, right? So I'm going to read verse 29. It says, that's why the work and struggle, and that's why I work and struggle so hard, depending on Hamashiach's mighty power that works within me, right? And it's really Hamashiach Yahawashi that works in us to teach this word, to think about a lesson, to drive you to study, to prepare for a lesson, or to read, put your household in order. That's all Bahasham Yahawashi. That is not you. That's not me. It's all the Lord, because you truly believe and the Lord is going to use you. Right? That's why the apostles, the Christian teachers, the bishops, the overseers, the preachers, the evangelists, they should be working as hard and struggling in this thing, right? Sometimes you could struggle where you working so much and it's hard for you to get a full reading, And it might struggle for you because then you like, damn, I didn't get to read what lesson I'm going to do. But if you've been reading throughout the week, the little that you can, you're going to come up with maybe the same lesson, maybe bring something old back, or maybe bring out something that was already brought out by another brother. but you're going to speak it and hit certain points that brother probably missed, because the children of Israel, our attention span is so small that we're going to bring out the same things over and over again. It doesn't matter from Genesis to Second Maccabees, Genesis to Revelation. It's going to get brought out again. It doesn't matter if it's not you, the other brother going to do. You might get into this, that we signed up for this. That's why this is a serious job, and it comes with struggle, and it comes with blood, sweat, and tears, right? Let's go to this other classic, 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Salaki, verse 15, chapter 15. In verse 58 in the KJV. It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye standfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord Yahawashi, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord Yahawashi." This is why we must work enthusiastically, right? You got to put your whole heart and your soul in this. We have to abound in it, right? This is why this is supposed to be your number one job on this earth. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how much money you got, especially if you say you're a child of the Lord, a teacher. That's the number one thing. It's not about your money, your flaunt your money, because you're supposed to be preparing yourself and the other servants of this ministry to prepare them for the worst to happen. You're not going to always have that 6 figures, because things is going to change. MOTB has to come, right? The physical mark has to come. Jacob trouble has to come. The famine of the word has to come. So all these lessons, all this teaching on the highways and byways is to prepare your faith so that you can believe in the Lord in that day. He might not come when you call on him. It might take him a day or two, because the Lord is always watching us, and he's looking at your heart. Sirach chapter 11 and verse 21. Ecclesiasticus chapter 11 verse 21. It says, "Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord Yahawashi, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord Yahawashi on a sudden to make a poor man rich," right? And how we're going to be rich in spirit, right? Because what he's saying, Revelations 2 and 9, Revelation 3 and 9, he know our tribulation and our poverty, but we are rich. We're rich because of Yahawashi. That's why we must remain in his labor. We must abide in his labor, right? Let's go to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 24, verse 34. This is what it reads. It says, "Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom." There you go. We're not laboring for ourselves. Who am I? I'm a filthy rag. I shouldn't be in this to get commendations or get a clap, bravo, because the work that the Lord have given us, this right here is freedom. This word right here is beneficial. This word in this ministry that we do is your life. Your life is on the line, man. If you're not believing and trying to pursue this thing and being serious with it, you're seeking death, man. And if you don't believe in it, what is saying in 1 Corinthians 1, what is it? I think it's 1 and 18, right? I think it's 1 and 18. Let's get that real quick. Let's make God true and every man a liar. It says, 1 Corinthians 1 and 18, "For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of God," right? Because, we do look like fools, right? We do look like fools for Hamashiach, Hamashiach Yahawashi, which is 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10, right? We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, right? But to the other ones that it looks foolish is to those that's going to perish. I don't want to be that. You shouldn't want to be that. And even more, the love of the men of the Lord, they're going to keep teaching you with a sincere heart, right? With all their soul and all their might, because they don't want you to be foolish. I can't make you be foolish, right? But the Lord is searching your heart, and you might grow in this thing, and you might grow out of your foolish thinking, So let's get another one in Sirach chapter 33. And let's get verse 17. It says, consider that I labor not for myself only. There we go again. But for all them that seek learning. Right? You have to seek it. Sirach chapter 6. You got to seek her and you shall find her, man. You have to seek after the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawashi. That's what we're laboring for, the ones that's seeking, the ones that's knocking at the door, knocking for Yahawashi. You knock on the door, it shall be open. And the ones that's going to open is the ones that's at the door, the ones that's holding guard, the porters, right? The porters are standing at the door, the apostles, the prophets, the Christian teachers, right? The pastors, the overseers, right? Or the evangelists. They're opening the door, right? For the ones that's seeking to learn. Let me go to Sirach chapter 6 real quick, just to show. I think it's around 20 something. Yeah. This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 26 to 27. It says, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. Right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawashi is going to be made known unto you. Right? Because the men of the Lord have ever flowing water. St. John chapter 7, I believe 38. Right? And that even goes with 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 48. Right? We said St. John 7, right? St. John 7, I believe. Yes, verse 38. It says, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Right? That water is a stream. Let me see if they got the precept in here for me. Okay, they don't. I'll just go to it because I quoted it in 2nd Esdras chapter 14 and verse 48. Right? I'll read 45 so you can understand the wise ones, which is the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, the bishops, right? The pastors. Those are the ones that's going to have that ever-living water flow out of them, that stream. So 2nd Esdras 14:45, it says, and it came to pass when the 40 days were filled, that the highest spake, saying, the first that thou hast written publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it. But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the spring of knowledge. Right? And that's water. Right? That's water. That's all that is. That is water. Right? The spring of understanding is water. The fountain of wisdom is water. The stream of knowledge is water. That's what it is water, So now let's go to Acts. Let's go to the book of Acts. We can go to Acts chapter 20 and verse 35. It says, I have showed you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord, Yahawashi, how he said, it is more blessed to give than receive. Right? Romans chapter 12, verse 1. It's the men that's laying themselves down like a living sacrifice, right? For their nation. Just like they're imitating what Yahawashi did, but they're doing it in the spirit. We're not getting across that Rome did and then hanging ourselves, right? We're doing it in the spirit by laying yourself down, let alone 1 Corinthians chapter 4, when you go into verse 9, for I think that God have set forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels and to men. That spectacle is a public show, So you make yourself a public show by laying yourself down. It doesn't matter, in season, out of season, in the cold, in the warm, in the heat, you're trying to feed the sheep. And even when you're not in the highways and byways, the Spirit will draw you, because in the time we move by technology a lot. You can use the unicorn and push forth this ministry. Record and then hit send. You could do a screen record where you got a picture where Israel is looking at the image and they're letting the scriptures flow in their mind. Or it could be sometimes you putting the scriptures on the screen so that they can follow along. Hey, you can follow along while I'm saying every verse, you know? And I'm gonna just do it on the side, just so that y'all can see what a spectacle is. First Corinthians chapter 4. I'm going to read the verse right here. It says, "For I think that God hath sent forth us apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world and unto men." So we're going to look up the word spectacle. A spectacle, a theater, a place in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited and public assemblies held, right? For the Greeks used the theater also as a form, right? This is the point. A public show. You go to the Strong's definition, it brings it out again. A place for public show. What do the men of the Lord do, right? Matthew chapter 22, right? Matthew chapter 22. They're on the highways and byways, a public show. They look like fools, you know? But we look like fools, but the drug dealers is on the corners too, right? Who look more like a fool? No, us, because we're preaching and we're fools for Mashiach Yahawashi sake, right? Let's get the book of Luke. Luke chapter 12 and verse 42. It says, "And the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi said, who then is the faithful and wise steward," right? Who's the faithful apostle, Christian teacher, the bishop, the overseer, the preachers, the evangelists, right? Who's that wise steward? "Whom this Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season," right? And it's the same thing that we was reading in Matthew, right? Because you could read, I think you could read dang near down to 48, right? You're working to get that reward in due season, right? But that reward is only coming with Yahawashi. And you're not only just, "Oh, I'm only doing this for the reward." You don't have that compassion or that thought for the children of Israel. It's in the spirit where you desire it, right? You're thinking, what does it say? First seek the kingdom of heaven. Even the teachers is seeking the kingdom of heaven, right? The powers that be, right? Being with Yahawashi, right? In authority, right? Ruling the dominions of the earth. Right, Revelations 21 and 12. Wait, is it 21 and 12? Or is it 22 and 12? It's 22 and 12. It says, "And I behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be." Right? And you go to Jeremiah 17 and 10, right? The Lord knows the heart. He tries the reins, and he give every man according to his ways. The Lord is watching us, unrighteous or righteous. Right? That's why you want to have a clean garment on daily. Right? Now, let's go to, I want to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 9. And I'm going to read verse 16 to 18 in the KJV, and then in the NLT. Want us to, get smacked and feel edified at the end. So 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16 to 18 in KJV, it says, "For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for a necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily that, when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Hamashiach without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel." 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 16 in the NLT. "Yet preaching the good news is not something I can boast about. I am compelled by God to do it. That's why I can't boast on this side, right? How terrible for me if I didn't preach the good news. If I were doing this on my own initiative, I would deserve payment. But I have no choice, for God has given me this sacred trust, right? Sacred trust, right? Salaki, sacred trust. What then is my pay? It is the opportunity to preach the good news without charging anyone. That's why I never demand my rights when I preach the good news. This is about Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Right? This is about Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. This is life and death. You know, your payment is you giving up, you giving your life up for this thing. Any man that loses life for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's sake shall gain his life. You know, you're trying to gain your life so that you can be in the kingdom, man. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. You want to be part of the ones that's getting saved out of this. You don't want to be destroyed and get into the kingdom and have everlasting content. Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. Starting at verse 1. Right? Let's get these last two precepts. Titus chapter 1, verse 7 to 11, the KJV, it says, for a bishop must be blameless, right? And a bishop is just going into a steward or a manager of God's household. So who's a manager of the household? A steward, apostle, other Christian teachers, bishops, overseers, preachers, and evangelists, right? Those are basically prophets. Those are the stewards, right? So a bishop must be blameless as the steward of God. Not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, no striker, not given to filthy lucre, right? It says, but a lover of hospitality, a lover of good, men, sober, just, holy, temperate, holding fast the faithful word as he have been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort, encourage, right? And to convince gainsayers. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouth must be stopped, right? And you got some of the faith of the circumcision that follow the ways of the Lord, right? But they got another objective. That was a beautiful verse. Verse 11, whose mouth must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake, right? Because they only doing it for money, man. It's some that's in this thing only doing it for money and doing it for benefits on the side instead of for the heavenly benefits. Colossians, what did it say? Colossians 3:1, set your affections on things above, right? And not things on the earth, you know? Let's get this last one. 1 Peter chapter 4 and the 11th verse. In the KJV, it says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Right? So, you got to really be speaking the oracles of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, which is literally the volume of the book, the censer milk, the parables, the dark sayings, and the prophecies, the volume of the book. And if you're not doing that, you are not an overseer of the household of the Lord. You are not an apostle, a prophet, evangelist. You're not a teacher of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You're really a teacher of the world or a teacher of Baal, you know. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect, whoever you may be. Continue to play your role as a man and as a woman. You know, just know that this is a serious job, and we are overseers of the Lord's household. And even for the ones that might not be, you know, teachers of this faith, you still have a job as a believer. It's a job to believe, and you go through hard times too. This is a job, and you must take believing in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi seriously. want to give all the praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah, Kwadash, and the mighty Shalom. And the double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well through the spirit and teach well. And the mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect that scatter four corners of the earth in the same spirit, teach his word and believe in his word, Lord willing that they all endure and be sincere. And Shalom to the Akwath Yom that are believers of the faith and the truth, Lord willing that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. And with that, Shalom. Shalom.